Oh, that's all right. It's a bit better, isn't it?
That feels better. Whoa!
Let's go!
Man, I've been looking forward to this for so long. I am Big Ben Rusty Burger. I'm joined by Sam Slamdry
What's good, guys?
and Big Boy Taylor Busham Jr.
How are we all doing out there? Shout out to Luke.
Respect. And we're here to guide you through week 1 preview of our fantasy football week.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That is what we're doing.
Yep.
Preview of our matchups for Red Zone. So let's actually talk about some of the matchups. So last year's winner, we'll start with Chris Stone up against Nat Newby Dodd. Obviously, very sad news about the great loss of Luke Marsh.
A moment of silence, boys.
Just he's with us in heart and spirit, but I mean the timing is
Forgot to turn my volume up.
seamless timing there. So yeah, we've lost Luke, but obviously Nat's been recalled to the league. And how do you think he'll fare second time round, especially what with getting married?
Yeah,
Split ties now.
I
Yeah.
know. What's going to be his priority? That is the question.
We all
Well,
know
it's
what it
got to
should
be
be.
football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You start as you mean to go on. Obviously, out of all of us, Chris Stone had the strongest draft grade somehow, even though he had last pick of the
Did
draft.
not understand that
incredible,
one
yeah.
bit.
How do you think PPR scoring will affect use of wide receivers this year, and has that got anything to do with his draft grade?
Sam, I'll let you do
Yeah, I reckon it does a little bit, but I'm looking at his starting lineup and it's pretty strong. Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton, Christian McCaffrey's going to be a PPR legend.
Yeah.
again. His running backs on the bench all suck.
But to be
No,
fair,
thanks.
having last pick of the draft,
He's done
if
well.
you look
Yeah.
at his team, that's pretty nuts, isn't it?
I do think week 1 will be a learning curve for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we
Working out
kind
this
of
PPR.
learnt that a little bit last night with the Bears
Oh,
Packers.
yeah. Massively.
I mean, you got someone like Robinson who did nothing, not really, last season, had a really low floor
Very
and not
average.
a huge ceiling, and somehow managed to get 17 points with nothing, basically.
Yeah.
It's true.
Shows that it has a big impact.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I was just looking at Chris' team again, actually. He's got Keenan Allen, Hilton, and Tyler Boyd. And you think with PPR, maybe... I don't think it will make wide receivers overpowered, but if wide receivers are scoring more, he's got 3 pretty high-targeted wide receivers there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's got something to do with his draft grade. Maybe. Don't know.
But I
But,
still think it's rubbish.
yeah, fair play, Chris. Whatever you did the right thing.
Yeah, somehow got 13-0 out of it. That's incredible.
And then saying that, projection-wise, Nat's actually not far off the pace. He's probably only...
No, I think that'll be
Point
a good week
off,
one
yeah.
matchup, to be honest.
So, yeah, he's got Juju, Hopkins, Tyler Lockett. So, again, he's going like 3 wide receivers strong. So, yeah, with PPR, Nat might be onto something there as well. The next matchup, I thought, go to Andy and Liam because...
Come to Panda.
I mean, I've just got written down in what is some rubbish notes, but during the draft, Liam felt the need to get 3 quarterbacks. So, I mean, let's talk about the depth he's got going on there.
yeah.
He's got Deshaun Watson, Mariota, and Jimmy G. Do you think he actually knows what he's doing?
I don't think he knows who they are, to be honest.
Or did he just turn up high?
Yeah.
No, that does make sense.
I mean,
No,
you
to
can
be fair, depth at quarterback. I mean, we're laughing now, but you never know who's going to get injured.
you can only start one though. I mean, that place could be.
I'm
filled
with Sam
someone
on that.
more-
You can only
more
start
depth.
Yeah, I was just trying to help him
I mean,
out.
factually, I am correct. Even though he let Marquez Valdez-Scantling on his bench with a solid 9-point performance.
Yeah. Mind you, yeah, that's probably not the worst decision, leaving him on your bench. I mean, just going to rinse Liam just a little bit more. What do you think of playing 2 wide receivers from the same team? So he's got Deshaun Jackson and
Yeah.
Jeffrey in his
It
lineup.
just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, Liam, but while one person's getting targeted, the other one isn't. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
It's true. Deshaun Jackson will be a depth kind of receiver. He'll get a big chunk of yards and maybe a touchdown occasionally. But
Just a possible could
That-
happen. That's what everyone tries to do.
The general feel for most wide receivers, isn't it? They get
Well,
yards,
yeah.
a
Yeah.
touchdown
And they try and get
occasionally,
touchdowns.
I
and
mean,
they get receptions. Yeah,
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Sam, you've nailed
Alshon
that.
Jeffrey, he's got limited practice though. He's got a bicep issue.
Okay.
It's
Just
true.
to,
Could hold him back.
Just to warn Liam.
Now,
about 3
Liam-
minutes before the game.
He has done well with his kicker, though. I mean, kickers we tend to forget about, but Tucker...
Chris
he always-
never forgets about
No,
kickers.
it's true. Shout out to Chris.
Big respect there.
Loves
Actually,
a kicker.
credit where it's due. I think. I mean, he was 5'6", maybe more pints down at this point, but he left it till his very last draft pick to get a kicker. Do you think
Odd.
the pressure finally got to him?
Yeah, I think
so.
the beer's got to him there.
That's
I
Chris
think,
standing, by
To
the
be
way.
fair, he went a bit too late on a kicker.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about Chris's draft. Have you got his team there in front of you? I mean,
Scrolling across.
I think he probably did the right thing in keeping Mahomes based on the
Yeah.
team he had last year.
I think he's due a big year.
And then obviously his first pick, I would just view as the keep around, and then second pick would be first pick, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
his first pick, Devontae Adams, just didn't perform last night, did he?
Anyway,
That shows what PPR can do, though, because when you look at Allen Robinson again, I would take
Yeah.
Devontae Adams over Robinson any day, but then
Definitely.
Robinson got 17 points.
yeah.
Yeah, which is nuts, really, isn't it? Because what was Robinson's yardage actually last night? Because I think he only got like 7 or 8 receptions, but straight away that's like 7 or 8 points more
Yeah.
than what he
I
would
think
have
it
got
was
standard
100
scoring.
100 yards,
So,
wasn't it? 103 receiving
Was
yards,
it?
I think
Yeah,
so,
take a look.
which when you think
102 receiving
Oh,
yards, 7
see,
Yeah.
it's not
receptions.
bad for a guess. I just
It's pretty
Okay.
good.
put that out there.
when you think about last season, that's 10 points, isn't it? And then bang on
Boosting
7
that.
receptions. That's I think that's going to be the biggest learning curve for me anyway. Is
Everyone, yeah.
PPR scoring, because it's nuts, and I know everyone voted for it, myself included. But
No, we all regret it.
this is crazy.
There's too many points.
Yeah. Oh, and I've got to talk about Jamie because he's my matchup for this week. I'm trying to think when it was he drafted Jordan Howard. Was it the 3rd or 4th
It was-
round?
Yeah, it's around that.
Are we all in agreement that was way too early?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Agreed.
Okay.
They rotate,
Got-
I think, quite a lot, the Eagles.
Split back
So,
there.
who knows, though?
Although saying that, him keeping Kelsey is insane because if you think about the numbers Kelsey put up last year, put PPR to that, he could have
He'd be
an
in the wide
extra sort of
receiver range.
like 10 points a game on top of what he was scoring last year. He might be one of the highest scoring threats in the league
beast.
this year, which
Definitely.
is scary because his projections are 16 at the moment. There's nothing stopping him. Like if you look at some of his games last year, I'm just trying to pull up one. So second week against the Steelers, he scored 29 points with 7 receptions. So like this year,
Yeah,
that would equate to like 36
Yeah.
points, which is bonkers. But yeah, I got a feeling. Outside those top 3 tight ends, you think about everyone else basically. So I've managed to pick up Austin Hooper, which again I don't really know what his receptions are going to be like because Falcons have got a lot of threats already,
Yeah.
but
That's the thing with
maybe
tight
tight ends
though.
are going to score
Yeah,
higher.
I think this will be a surprise. Like Nat, and I would think it's unfortunate that he left Jimmy Graham on the bench.
Yeah,
'Cause
Yeah.
you wouldn't think he'd be a particularly high scoring person, and then BAM! 12 points. So 12
Exactly.
points for Jimmy G, and he isn't, I wouldn't say, a top 5 tight end.
No, and to be
So-
fair, I don't think he even scored that in any of his weeks last year.
He was so bad.
Oh, I'm wrong. He did get 15 points in the second week, but
Still.
I'm sure I had him last year and he was rubbish.
I think that's still PPR. Though.
Mate, yeah, I was gonna, okay. Good point, Sam.
Yeah.
Good
I'll
point.
chip in there with the facts and rules.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, nice. Any dark horses for you guys this season?
What? out of our fantasy teams, or
Oh,
players?
sorry. Yeah, let's go fantasy teams first. Anyone who you think has gone under the radar in the draft, maybe got a bad draft grade, but could potentially go for playoffs and maybe have a bit of a run.
Me.
Legend.
Yeah. Well, that's good because I was going to say me.
Everyone looks at their own team and thinks it's good.
I don't think you will have a problem going to the playoffs, because if you look at your team and look at your bench, you've got Antonio Brown, Melvin Gordon not even playing for you. I mean, that's some hell of good options, like
Yeah.
coming available hopefully later
Yeah.
on in the season. Who
Yeah,
do you
imagine
think?
what happens when they hit the field
I know.
instead of
Exactly.
their wives.
Who do you reckon Melvin Gordon could go to if he does go?
I
Or where would you like to see him?
think the Packers. I know they need a running back. They've never had an elite running back.
That would be good.
I mean, Jones was rubbish last night, so
Yeah.
And Williams, he was fine, but he wasn't anything special.
yeah.
Gordon can kind of take both their roles and be better at them anyway.
Do you think they're like a good running team though? Like for him to be in a setup there?
Well, they got a good offensive line, don't they?
Yeah.
So they're better than the one at the Chargers. But who knows? That is the question.
Yeah. I think the Ravens would be good. for him.
Ravens. Yeah,
Just
that
'cause they're
would be
gonna
pretty
pound
nuts,
the
wouldn't it?
ball. Yeah.
Or you could see him go to the Bills.
They need a running back.
That'd be amazing. But actually, yeah, at the Ravens, that would be pretty cool.
Even though they've got Mark Ingram, but Melvin Gordon's just better.
Bit
Yeah,
of
but then
depth.
they have a quarterback who runs anyway. I think he's going to get more running yards than the running back will.
Yeah, probably. But he'll also tear his ACL week 1.
He's out.
Nice one. Well, we were talking earlier about this crazy bet that Liam. Sorry to rinse you again, Liam, but I mean you do say some
You
rubbish.
are insane.
He's got to be.
So,
You've got to have been high.
It was aimed at you, Tay. So if you just talk us and remind everyone about the bet Liam set with you.
Well, for some strange reason, Liam thought it would be a nice idea. Maybe alcohol influenced his idea a little bit, but
Maybe
he said that
maybe drugs.
we bet 50 quid, was it? I think it was
Definitely 50 quid.
that Rivers would get more throwing yards than Mahomes, the
Yeah.
current MVP. So
So yeah, Mahomes, what was it? It's over 5,000 passing yards last season, which I don't think he'll get this season. But funny enough, I did do a little bit of research on it just for projections, and so I know it's only projections, but Rivers' passing yards projection that for this season is apparently 4,443 yards. Mahomes is 4,659 yards. So that's only 215 yards difference.
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling the Chiefs play the Steelers twice this year. I
Only
think.
once.
Is it?
is it
Yeah,
the
in the
Raiders?
regular season they don't
Oh,
play.
sorry. Yeah,
Raiders.
Raiders. Sorry.
Yeah.
And both those games, he's projected to have almost 300 yards passing.
So if he doesn't do
So, like,
that,
yeah, if he has bad or a couple of bad games there, which
well, the Raiders are rubbish.
yeah, I don't
so-
think he will, but it could be close, or if he gets injured.
Yeah.
I still think Liam is off his face, but
I don't know. He's going to give me 50 quid, I think.
You might as well just give it now.
even if he wins the bet, he'll give you 50 quid.
Yeah, just
I
a
mean,
nice
that's
guy.
the kind of guy he is.
He'll be high
He
still.
is
yeah.
crazy.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I think that's all fairly well covered. I know we didn't go through all the matchups, but we
Who
kind
did
of
we miss out on?
we haven't talked about Sam actually.
Sam
He's gone
running back
under the
every
radar. Actually, Sam, we need to talk to you about your team. You have one white man in your lineup.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through the
What was the
reasoning
pick of
behind
that?
that?
I just think when it comes to athleticism, black people are better. And
Wow.
That's.
Okay, he said it.
I mean,
He has said it. Although, to be fair, I will back you up there, as I too only have... Oh no, I do have 2 white people, so...
I mean,
A little bit more
if you want to
balanced, yeah.
see what Equality
Well,
Street
actually-
looks like, you look at my team. It's 5 for 5 there.
whites and blacks.
Yeah,
Matt-
you know, I'm the melting pot right here. I've got Jerry Bosa,
That'll be
Greg
your
the Leg,
downfall.
Bit of white chocolate,
Edelman,
bit of dark chocolate.
Rogers. Got me white men there. Then got a bit of Chubb, Thomas, Bell, Wagner, Williams. You know, bit of white and.
Yeah.
I know it's
Matt.
not very visual, but I don't think Matt Gay's that black.
I've got a funny
I
feeling
think
that's
he's
not
white.
a picture of
I think
him.
he's my second white guy.
I think that's a generic picture. That
Yeah.
It's not Sam, you must be high as well.
Whoa.
he looks like
I've already had a
McCaffrey
few
on Madden
beers.
20. But yeah, how do you think your draft went, Lammy? Are you happy? I know
Yeah.
most people say, yeah, I'm happy with my team, but are you really happy?
Am I
Are
really?
you really?
I think wide receiver wise, you know,
Let's have a look.
I went a bit too high on AJ Green when I didn't realise he hadn't practiced throughout all of pre-season and training camp.
It's like you did no research on it.
No, I didn't really for AJ Green.
Although
How
three
old is he
strong
now?
Running backs.
30?
Is he
Well, I just wanted to
Yeah.
put that one out there.
Yeah.
starting to
And Tariq
regress?
Cohen there as well, you know.
Yeah.
Solid 12 points last night, and he fumbled.
Yeah,
So-
true. And no touchdown either, so
No, probably
could
should have
change
started
things.
him.
But Chris
Hmm.
Carson, Devontae Freeman, and Joe Mixon.
Mm,
I'd be happy with that.
I'm quite happy
When
with
did
that.
you pick Howard up in the draft? Do you remember?
I think probably 6th or 7th round.
Yeah, that's not bad. What do you reckon about him target-wise this season? Do you reckon he's going to have a good season?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be the number 2 target after Mike Evans, really.
Yeah.
I mean, who have the Bucks really got? Well, they've got Chris Godwin, but he's
And-
not great. He's always a disappointment.
Yeah, to be fair, last season he's done all right. Week 10 he scored 2 points, which was his lowest, but apart from that, it's all pretty much double digits. So
Who's your kicker, Sam? The most important player on your team.
here we go,
Matt Gay.
legend.
Absolute legend.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on.
That's good.
Yeah, I think I have a solid year.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think,
So you reaching the playoffs this year, Sam? With that
I
team?
think I'm in a tough division. I think Andy. Actually, no, I'm not in a tough division.
You got Liam in yours, haven't you?
Yeah.
in Division C, otherwise known as Group C, you're with Chris, Andy, and Liam. So
I'm happy to be in the Luke Marsh tribute division.
How do you think your draft went, Ben?
Don't know. I think I was high on drugs, medicated drugs at the time.
Oh yeah,
Mixing that with beer wasn't a good.
you've got a solid
Decision.
team.
I
Nick
feel-
Chubb, Lev Bell.
I feel like I just took the best available player and that's based on what Headley did last year, and somehow did.
talk us through
Very well.
the picks situation with Rich there. What was
Yeah.
the
There's a
Well,
source of controversy,
we
really.
had that trade, didn't we? So I traded Kareem Hunt.
I'm sure we'll be listening intently at this.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 18 minutes so far, so I'm guessing people might have just stopped
true, they've
listening
got
by
this
now.
You know what? I think they're hooked.
But yeah, traded Kareem Hunt for a first round pick because he was a beast, and then traded my second round pick for a third round pick, which means obviously because he's essentially lost a pick for a player. I think
Yeah.
that's where the confusion was,
Yeah.
what that equates to. So I think based on where Kareem Hunt would land in the draft this year is where he got his extra pick from.
Oh, I see.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
So
that makes
say-
sense.
So instead of giving him like a 17th round, if Kareem Hunt was going to be drafted low teens, just sort of split the difference there.
Yeah,
What did he get? 10th round pick?
yeah. And he picked a kicker.
He's got a kicker. I mean,
Worth it.
yeah.
Will Lutz was in high demand at that point. What do you think of your division?
My division, love it.
You think you're making the playoffs?
I don't know. I think Nat's actually got a good team, which
Does.
sometimes you can kind of look at a division thinking, Nat's new, he might not have a good team, but I think he actually does. I think, Chris has drafted the strongest on paper, hasn't he? Or,
Yeah.
by grade. Jamie's team's a funny one. I think
different.
I was looking
than
at
what I thought
it
was.
yesterday, and I was thinking, okay, just trying to go through matchups, thinking who can beat who. Kelsey's is like a massive threat. It depends on how Josh Jacobs does as well. Like, if he actually scores big, then obviously that's another threat for him. But then I genuinely didn't have Robinson down as a threat, and he scored 17 points.
We'll
So
see if that's consistent.
I've
or
no
not.
idea really. I think Thielen will do all right, especially with PPR, because him and Diggs, even if they do get split targets, then he's still going to score well, isn't he? Although last year, funny enough, I think Thielen sort of just dropped off after like by week 10. I think it was week 9. He sort of dropped off, and I say drop off. He still scored like 12 points, but after then he never really got going again. So I don't know. It just depends, doesn't it? It depends on what players are in form, who stays fit. If Rivers does beat Mahomes in passing yards.
It would be silly.
But yeah, again, like looking at projections is dangerous sometimes because you sort of feel confident in a matchup and then you go ahead and lose it. But yeah, I think my division will be cool. It will be a good challenge, I reckon. But playoffs, I don't know. I think my draft grade was good enough for just about getting in the playoffs. But who knows? My team might suck.
I think they're all tough divisions.
Good.
Tay, what do you think of your team?
Yeah, I'm
and your
going to win.
division? Yeah,
I'm going to win. Yeah.
nice.
Simple as that, really.
All right.
Nice.
I'm confident.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about with fantasy. It's
Yeah,
all about
just gotta-
confidence, because
Yeah.
if you're confident, your team's going to play well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice little
that
summary.
was good. Yeah, nice one, boys. Well, that was a week 1 preview / flipping essay, 20-minute essay.
Until next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
play us out. Woo! Nailed it.